welcome to On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't here at first, my computer's broken, so I'm on my phone. Hopefully you can hear me well. Fred is running the show over there with our networks and all that good stuff. He's running it. So, he's done a good job getting everything set up, last minute here. But it is what? Is it
Tuesday.
June already? Is it really June?
Yeah.
Time flies. June 16th, 2020 on a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
What are we doing live
Wait
on
a minute.
Tuesday?
Yeah. We're not supposed to be live right now. No. If you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or go down outthefield.com, you knew that we're going live on Tuesdays now from 7 to 8 p.m. So here we are, ready to talk a slew of topics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was kind of the warm-up right there, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I think the only thing we left out was the new recorded show is going to be on Fridays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then also, if you're listening to the show, Spotify, wherever you are, especially iTunes, make sure you rate and review us. We're trying to climb those charts, get them downloads.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely let us know how we're doing so we can improve. If you love the show, let us know. If you think there's something we can make better, let us know too. Always looking for that feedback and how we can improve.
Yeah, except from Dan, except from Lamantia. Because he'll just say something that's not true to try and hurt our feelings.
Oh, okay.
Like the fact that we don't talk about the NFC West enough. He'll just hate on us for that. We're going to get back to them, Dan. Don't worry. We will talk about the 49ers. We kind of are going to talk about the 49ers today. Kind of 49ers sub, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But first, we still have the charities going, obviously. We have the Feeding America fundraiser still going and the Boys and Girls Club of America going. So you can find those on the charities tab at onandoffthefield.com as well. I think that's really it. And we can jump into the show and how we always start our shows, the other sports.
Hey, I'm getting there.
Yeah. So, right. Pull up the banners faster, Fred.
It's there.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm just sitting over here twiddling my fingers and stuff. I don't have to look at comments or out. This is great. It's so easy. But our first topic is going to be Major League Baseball. So we're actually going to be bringing in a guest for this subject of basically ripping apart the Major League Baseball organization and just everyone as a whole as we work on pulling them in.
Yes. Let me add him right now. So we're bringing in Frank Knox from To Be Blunt.
Yo, what's up, fellas? How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing good. How about you?
Great, man. Pleasure to be with you. I heard you guys are going to be talking about baseball, and I'm fired up about what's going on, man. It's a crock of shit.
You don't have to tell me twice.
No.
By any chance, did you watch last night from ESPN, the Return of Sports 2-hour thing they did?
Yeah, the interview with Rob Manfred, where he backpedaled on saying there was going to 100% be baseball just last week. And now he's saying there's a chance that it couldn't be happening this season. He says he's not confident they're going to play.
Yeah, it was pretty bad that you come out and say there's 100% chance there's going to be baseball, although for a fact you've gone nowhere with negotiations. He just came out and said it with no proof that there was going to be 100% baseball, and now he looks like an idiot and a coward coming out saying, well, yeah, there's a good chance there actually might not be baseball at all.
I mean, I don't know if you guys seen Twitter over the weekend, but it was flooded with MLB players saying when and where they want to play. Tell me when, tell me where. I'm going to be there. And then he comes in on Monday saying he's not confident they're going to play. I mean, you got these guys publicly stating they want to play baseball.
Right, definitely. And yeah.
I mean, it's a disgrace he's a commissioner of a major sport. I mean, during this COVID-19 crisis, we all know that baseball is usually hubbed in, winter, spring training in Arizona and Florida. What were the first two states that were pretty much wide open? Arizona and Florida. These guys could have been there. They have the facilities. They could have went from the 8th most watched sport in the world to the first most watched sport in the world, but they fumbled the ball. Huge.
Yeah.
People are over here sitting on their couches in the morning watching Korean baseball.
Table
Korean
tennis.
baseball.
Yeah.
And table tennis and Bundesliga. You're
Yeah,
telling
man.
me that you were sitting here on your couch letting all of this free publicity, all these eyeballs that have nothing to watch except Korean baseball and Bundesliga, and you're just going to sit there and negotiate over what money and how many games? Come on.
Yeah, they're going back. They're trying to just go backwards on these guys. They're trying to give them the same money, just restructured with different games at a different percentage, but it's all coming out to like 80%. No matter, and they want 100%. I don't blame them. They're at risk for getting corona, by traveling every day. Because look at what happened in the NFL already. I mean, you got the Texans and the Cowboys now got positive players testing positive, and they're at risk. They deserve the 100%, and it's a disgrace after all the bullshit offseason they had with the cheating scandal with the Astros, the Red Sox, and now the Yankees have been in the news this week. I mean, you'd think they would want to show the sport on TV and get everyone stop talking about cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done nothing, man. It's really sad. I am not really sure there's going to be a season.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up. I think it's more up in the air now than it was a couple of weeks ago. And I think one of the big things that I know Rob Manfred was talking about the last night, I think on the Return to Sports, was like, oh, we're following bad faith practices with the MLBPA, and he's just full of it. And it's just him to make a scapegoat for this, and he just needs to stop.
It's bad for the sport, man, because there was already a looming strike coming in 2021 because the CBA is up. So if they don't put a product out in the field this year, I mean, can they survive 2 years with labor strikes?
Oof.
Yeah, that was actually my next question there. That's the next point I was going to bring up with the new CBA coming up. With all of the issues they have had just trying to deal with this one season with the coronavirus going on, and you can't even get on the field for 50 games. I'm calling it now, and they called it earlier on a Dan Patrick show this morning. There will not be baseball in 2022. There won't. There won't be a season. It'll be 1994 all over again.
It's going to be bad, man. I mean, can they even come back next year and still have all the fans they once had? They're going to lose
those fans are gone.
Big majority of their fans are going to jump ship because I'm fed up. This is bullshit. America's pastime is now dead because one asshole, Rob Manfred. They're saying there's 6 to 8.
Think of a worse commissioner.
There's 6 to 8 owners supposedly that are against having a season, and they would need 23 votes. So that means 8 could vote no, and then the season would be called off. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, the owners have just as much power as the commissioners in this thing. Mm-hmm. I think the owners are behind the commissioner's decisions and actions because he has to get voted in. He's got to make goody-goody with the commissioners. And the commissioners at the bottom line is they're greedy. I mean, look at the Pittsburgh Pirates. They don't spend a penny. They make money.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Yeah, we got to hope it happens, but it's not looking good, fellas.
Yeah, that's the main point, I think, is the commissioner is owned by the owners.
Mm-hmm.
So the commissioner will stay on the side of the owners, and that's why he's been attacking the players trying to give. He's been behind most of this. I would like to think he speaks on behalf of the owners. When you see him go up there, he's never speaking on behalf of the players, and that just
No,
makes a rift that makes everyone uncomfortable, and no one wants to see it.
I agree with you 100%. I hope things change. I hope they could get to some, at least get back to the talking table. The players obviously want to play, so we got to hope that it happens. If not, I hope the players start a beer league. They sell the rights for couple $1 billion to Fox Sports 1, and you got Aaron Judge and the boys hitting home runs, softball style, drinking beers.
Sounds
Let's do
good.
it. Let's set it up.
I
We're
mean,
going to start a petition.
Yeah, let's do it. If they don't
Right
have a
off the
season,
field.
start the beer league up, baby.
Let's go. I'm all for that. We'll all go down to Orlando. We'll start it up. We'll just do like little all-star stuff. I'm all for it. I'm signing up. I'm already buying my tickets. Let's go.
Dude, I'm already calling the guy that made NBA Street and asking him to make the video game for this.
There you go.
Hey, as long as the people that make Madden don't make it, that's whoever made that game. That sounds good to me.
That's EA Sports.
EA Sports. I don't need.
No, I don't think
Madden.
the NBA Street and FIFA Streets were EA Sports.
I don't think so either. I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't EA.
Oh, it could have been 2K.
I never played a lot of those games.
It could have been an
It's
early
2K.
2K game. You're right.
2K was my first football game ever. The one with T.O. on the front. When he was
Oh,
with the Eagles.
yeah, dude. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah, that was one of my. I think that was my first football game ever, and then
You
I
had
started
it on-
buying the Madden.
you had it
games.
on the
My
Dreamcast?
dreams were crushed. It sounds so familiar.
Sega
Oh.
Dreamcast. I think that's what I owned the NFL 2K game on.
I think I had it on maybe a PlayStation 2 or 3, maybe. Oh God, it's so long ago.
Yeah,
I was
man,
little
that's a
kid.
long time ago.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So
well, you got any last thoughts on baseball?
My last thought on baseball is it's got to happen. They're going to find a way. If it's 50 games, if it's 40 games, they're going to have to put something on the field. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in 2022. The whole season 2021 is going to be a hectic negotiation. I'm wishing for the best, man, but I think they're going to have a 50-game season is my guess, is where I'm feeling it.
all right, give us a little taste of baseball this year with that much.
Yeah,
I'd be
man.
fine with it personally.
50 games, they got to do it. They got to do it quick because, I mean, it's coming up. These guys still got to stretch out. So you're talking once they decide to do it, you're probably talking 30 to 45 days of spring training like stuff.
Yeah.
It's they haven't touched the field at all. I mean, and they were talking with hockey. They're saying how some of the hockey players, they haven't touched the ice in 3 months. Same thing goes for baseball players, but it's been, I feel like, even longer than that. Because at least hockey was going on and then it got shut down. Baseball players haven't been on the field in what feels like forever. So
Yeah, I think if it starts, it's probably going to be August, September, October, November.
Yeah.
Because they have to finish by November.
Mm-hmm.
right.
But
Yeah,
then
they got
again,
their
if
deadline for sure.
if they stay on the tropical place all season long, I guess they could play longer than they usually can.
Yeah.
That's an interesting consideration. Finish out the regular season and then move the playoffs further south, see if they can last longer.
Yeah, maybe do the playoffs like December, January. Because right now the World Series is usually in November.
Mm-hmm.
So if
I
they
don't
could
think they want to push that.
No, they don't. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, it's all speculation. Every day you hear something new about every single sport right now.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
and you thought baseball was getting closer, and then Manfred comes out, and I'll start making the beer league T-shirts. But
Let's do it,
we
man.
appreciate you coming on and helping us rip on baseball. It's always fun.
Thanks for having me, man. You guys can check us out every Thursday night on the RTF Sports Network and ToBeBluntPodcast.com. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, looking at the comments here, Michael says baseball will play 53 games, prorated pay, and hockey probably won't. NBA boycotts. Hockey is 100% going to go.
Yeah.
I think that some of them are back on the ice practicing at some facility, not as a league, but I think players have worked their way back onto the rinks, at least since they've opened up. NBA is interesting. I don't think the NBA will boycott strictly because Adam Silver is the best commissioner that we've seen in a while. Maybe except with David Stern. He was also a good NBA commissioner, but
Yeah.
Adam Silver, very good commissioner. I think he'll make sure that there's an NBA. Whether it has all the players or not, that's to be seen down the road, but I'll definitely think they'll play.
Yeah. It's this whole mini NBA revolution they're starting with Kyrie and not wanting to go to Orlando. I think that's gonna put a little bit of a dent in everything that's going on. And Kyrie saying it's gonna stall the Black Lives Matter movement by all the NBA players going to Orlando to play that are on all the teams that are going. He suggests that they need to use this time to help keep helping the movement. And LeBron is actually leading a group saying that they should go to Orlando. So there's definitely some kind of turmoil on how they want to help this movement progress. And interesting to see that it's Kyrie and LeBron are kind of the top two players that are being mentioned for the most part on the situation.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just like it was when they were kind of playing together, and now they're kind of on their own teams. LeBron is leading the team that says, let's go to Orlando, let's play, let's do something down there to help. Like we'll have the stage set down there, and playing games, people watching, we can make a difference there. And then Kyrie's on the side of, well, let's not go at all and try making a difference in the communities without playing and actually be here for our communities. Now, neither one of them. I was just going to originally rip on Kyrie because Kyrie comes out here and says, yeah, let's just not go. But, we got to help our communities, but offers no actual solutions to help the communities. He doesn't come out and say, I got to stay here so I can be on the board to talk about police reform, or I can go help rebuild things that might have been destroyed in some riots, anything like that. But then LeBron, I guess you still have to talk with the rest of the league, and that's hard to do right now.
Yeah.
But what's his idea for going down to Orlando and let's make a difference there on our big stage with everyone watching? What can we do? There's no solutions yet, and I feel like that's normally the issue with these kinds of things. People say a lot of words, and everyone wants to talk about the things they say, but move it to the next step. What's the what? What are you going to do?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like Michael's saying here, I think another thing that's kind of throwing a wrench in this whole NBA starting back up again is the fact that there's nearly 3,000 new cases of COVID-19 in Florida. So that's going to make things, I think, very difficult. I think the bubble in Orlando made sense. But I think now that we're seeing that spike in a lot of the Texas and Florida and Arizona, I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they approach that and see how many players stay home. Michael also says that Kyrie has to save face because he is fat and out of shape.
And he also thinks the earth is flat. So he doesn't really got much of a leg to stand on when it comes to starting a riot or starting a a coup here to not play in the NBA, the playoffs here.
Yeah. And we got Brian Snow commenting saying Kyrie is finished. So I don't think
he kind of stole my comment a couple of comments later. He says, and Ben finished since 2017. Yeah, that was gonna be my comment. Yeah, I think he's been finished. He hasn't really done anything since he's left left Cleveland.
Yeah, pretty much.
Michael says it's not true. He just needs LeBron James. Yeah, at this point, his ego he would never, not a chance in the world, Kyrie would ever consider playing with LeBron again. And I mean, if I don't follow NBA that much, but I'm pretty sure his ego couldn't take. All right, sorry, I failed. I tried going off on my own, leading my own team. I failed. Take me back. he could never do that.
Yeah, definitely. Michael's rebuttal to the flat Earth situation is it's 100 degrees, not flat.
Sorry about that. I'm also not I'm not into the Earth that much. Yes, and that's it. So we're gonna go off on this tangent about the NBA, and I'm gonna sound kind of like an idiot because I don't watch NBA. I can't comment on a lot, but he is with KD, and if I can sit here because KD, how much has he played? Pretty sure he's played like 0 games, right? Because the Warriors used and abused him after he tore his Achilles like 3 times, and then they send him off, trade him or I don't even think they trade him. He just went to the Nets, and he hasn't played.
He's left.
What you can't say that's a good thing, bad thing. He has a lead. Kyrie's still leading that team because KD hasn't even touched the floor. If once KD's on the floor, then we can talk about like it'll just turn into a LeBron Kyrie debate again of Kyrie can't lead teams because now KD's the leader, Kyrie's the second man again. That's what it's going to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
But I think we have some positive news here in the other sports.
Oh Lordy, please let there be something positive.
Yeah.
We actually have 2 positive things.
Oh.
I forgot to add the other one, but go ahead with yours.
Okay. So the New Zealand Super Rugby League started up at the end of last week, and they actually had their stadium full of fans because New Zealand has been declared COVID-19 free because they've had 0 new cases in the last 3 weeks. So they allow fans to go to the stadiums and watch their teams play. So it's made national news that this is one of the first sporting events worldwide to not have a capacity-ish limit in stadiums and to not require fans to wear face masks at the game. So I think that is awesome to hear because that hopefully tells us that outside sports are coming very soon for the U.S. I mean, obviously New Zealand took a different approach to locking down the entire country when COVID hit. So it's awesome to see that they're 3 weeks COVID-19 case free. So I actually checked out some of their highlights from some of their games, and it's pretty intense.
Rugby's a fun sport, man.
Yeah,
we have rugby teams in Rochester, New York, and if I didn't have a bad back, I would have played for them because I was right there. I was about to go try out, and then the wife talked me out of it because she didn't want me to die or end up in a wheelchair. So I appreciate the love there. Thank you.
Yeah,
but it'll be interesting because, like you said, they took a different approach to everything. They didn't have cases in 3 weeks, but they open up this stadium. It's live sports. I know New Zealand's kind of on its own island. It's just kind of there. But what are the chances? Someone comes from another country. They bought tickets. Oh, they're opening up live sports. Cool. Someone from a country that's still like on lockdown or something comes over. he has corona. All it takes is one case in a stadium of 20,000 fans, and next thing you know, your numbers are going to jump back up. And we're not going to know that for another week it normally takes if people start getting tested.
Another week or two. Yeah.
So I think we're going to have to keep a close eye on New Zealand to see if there's any spikes, because that's the issue with America now. We slowly started opening things up, and boom, Florida has 3,000 new cases. So
yeah,
it's kind of what you have to expect at this point, unfortunately. But hopefully that doesn't stop the sports from reopening, because gosh darn it, I need some freaking sports.
yes.
I can't watch Korean baseball anymore. I just can't handle it. I turned one game on in the morning, and it was like 9-1 at the top of the eighth, and I was like, "Why did I turn? Why am I here? This is what I've reduced myself to." God, give me American sports back. Just give me something. I want so little. But the one last piece of other sports news, the other sport that returned, we talked about a little bit last week, was NASCAR.
Yeah.
And we mostly just talked about NASCAR because of the Confederate. Yeah, you know.
I know
we just talked about them last week. Yeah, baby. They were in the news last week for kind of off the track news. See what I did there? It's like off the track. That's pretty good. Off the track news. This week is on the track news because Denny Hamlin won the race, which was his 40th win.
Wow.
40 wins from old Denny.
That's impressive.
Denny's my boy. I don't really follow NASCAR that much.
Right.
Obviously, I don't sit on the couch and watch NASCAR. I just kind of see where Denny lands on the standings, and this week he landed at first. 40 wins. I love it. Huge fan of that. Do you have a driver, or do you not care?
I bounced around a little bit when I was younger. It was kind of like Mark Martin back in the days, Dale Jarrett back in the days, and then I kind of just left. I didn't stay interested in it as long. So, yeah, and current drivers, I couldn't tell you.
40th win for Dylan's 40th birthday. I'm not that old. I kind of look it. I've been known to get some looks of like, "Hey, you must be 35." No, it's happened to me before.
Yeah.
And then for those who are tuning in for the first time, whether it's right now or you listen to this later, the only reason I like Denny Hamlin is because his first name is Denny, and back when I picked my driver, I was like, his name's Denny, like the restaurant. I'm gonna follow him. So that's how I pick.
There you go. That's not a bad way to pick.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think we're ready to jump into the NFL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on to our next segment there. Boom. Just like that.
So I guess we could start with bad news. We went bad news, good news, and we can go with bad news again.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Keep things fresh.
Yeah.
It was kind of mentioned earlier, very quickly, that the Cowboys and the Texans had some positive cases of the coronavirus. And one of those Cowboys players was Ezekiel Elliott, which the question was presented. I thought I'd just throw this in here real quick. Since Ezekiel Elliott's name came out saying he had coronavirus, I'm curious, in an NFL player's contract, especially their medical contract, was his HIPAA rights violated?
Oh, that's a good question to ask. I mean, yeah, he'd be the one that have to announce that.
He can tell his agent to like release it, like, "Hey, buddy, go out here and tell people I have the Rona." But
yeah.
How it came down was the agent confirmed another source that said Ezekiel Elliott had the Rona. So it did not come from. We're all assuming it didn't come directly from Zeke. So the question is, was his HIPAA rights violated? In my opinion, no. Because guess what? If you tear your ACL, tear your Achilles, break a bone, get a concussion, that's all medical news too. And if you're concussed or you're at the hospital and the head coach comes out on the podium and says, yeah, he tore his ACL, that's breaking HIPAA too, because I guarantee the guy that's getting like surgery right now didn't say, yeah, coach, go out there and tell him I tore my Achilles. Yeah, tell them, please. I'm sure it's in their contract that medical news can be released, because that happens every week.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong. I'm going to check the comments here because I know Michael's very active.
Yeah, Michael's been very active on this show tonight, which is great to get that fan interaction. Michael says when the Broncos player that had it, which I think was Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Because they were trying to case fear and make it seem bad. So definitely, I know at an early on announcing that just to get the seriousness of it. But I think now it's kind of like, really, come on.
We definitely want it to go away, but it's just not. I mean, it varies from person to person. Von Miller, when he first got the Rona, he said he was recovering. He said he isolated himself, and even as he was recovering and started working out again, he says his full lung capacity still wasn't back yet. And that could be, you could get a cold and still have some lung issues while you're recovering from it. So
right.
I think he tried to make it more than it was, just for his case. I mean, he's still alive, obviously. Hi, Jameson. Welcome to the chat. I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, Von Miller had it I think he was one of the first NFL players to get the coronavirus, and it wasn't that. Who was the guy that said he had huge news to release on his next episode, and that's all it was? Like some NFL player.
Jay Glazer.
Case. Yeah, good old Jay Glazer. We didn't forget about you, Jay. Yeah. Jay Glazer and Chris Sims, enemies of the show. Yeah. And no, the Rona won't go away for a very long time, and now it's just the conversation happened since NFL. There's positive cases of the NFL, and they're starting to work their way back. They're talking about coming back to training camp in the next couple of weeks. Coaches are already back in the building. There's players practicing all over the country, like they've gone to Florida. They're playing. They're warming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to get more prevalent, and it's on Roger Goodell to figure out how to contain it. But is this going to push the season back? And I'm just going to say no, because I don't want to say maybe or yes and jinx it. I'm just going to say no. Pray to God it starts on time. Crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I really hope there's not a too much. I hope there's not. If there's a delay, I really hope it's not too much of a delay. Like, I know when they were making the schedule, there's technically a action plan in place. Like the week 2 opponents have the same bye week, so that if they have to absorb the bye week for those teams, they can. But I am fingers crossed, hoping like crazy that we have NFL on time this year.
Yeah, Jameson's coming in here in the comments and saying NFL won't start on time. You take your negativity and take that over to Chris Sims' show. We don't want that kind of negativity here at On and Off the Field. We don't. Yeah, Michael's telling them to shut it. Yeah, go hook up with Jay Glazer and Chris Sims with that negativity. We don't do that here. We might be wrong that it'll start on time, but darn it, we're going to be positive.
We're going to be positive and hope for it.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
But except for the coronavirus, hoping it doesn't impact the start time. The one positive thing about the NFL being in the off season right now is they can plan for this stuff, and they can also see if a team wants to bring in Colin Kaepernick for a tryout.
Yeah.
It's a spicy topic. It's a very spicy topic. It's a very sensitive topic.
Yes, it is.
There's people that'll dig their heels in on Colin Kaepernick still getting left out of the league. There's so many pieces to the Kaepernick story because, yes, people want to say he's not as good as he was. He's been out of the league for 3 years. And so, the funniest thing ever is when people in the NFL, like GMs or coaches or anywhere in the NFL, they say, "Well, we're not going to bring in Colin. He's been out of the league for 3 years. He's been out of the league for 3 years because you blackballed." You dummies! Like,
right?
You're acting like it's his fault. He's been out of the league for 3 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't decide to not play.
Yeah, definitely. Like it was like I swear it was like a scare tactic for the NFL with Colin Kaepernick, with everything that was going on during the first kneeling movement for Black Lives Matter, and now it seems like they're backpedaling a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, nope, he's good. Like if you guys want to try him out, go for it. Like we encourage it now." So I mean, like you said, it's clearly not his fault for not being in the league the last 3 years. So I would like to see him be in the league again, see what he can do. I think he's aiming for that backup spot, but you never know what happens with these starters. Some of them are shaky, they go down, and next thing you know, you got a Nick Foles situation, and you're going to Super Bowl.
And I think this is the perfect year for an opportunity for Kaepernick, because even if he does come in as a backup, and there's been a lot of talks, a lot of articles about the best landing spots for him. And if you want to take the approach of he needs a place where he would be a backup, 100%, go to the Chiefs, go to the Ravens, go to somewhere with a solidified starter, so there's no conversation of maybe Colin can come take the starter job. There would be no talk of that in Kansas City or maybe Tampa, maybe. I'm not sure. Name any place with a solidified starter. There you go. But the question comes with the coronavirus, this is perfect for him. Let's say he joins the Chiefs. Just a team or the Ravens. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, one of them they come down with the Rona. They have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. Here comes Colin Kaepernick, fresh off the bench because they don't have anybody else. That's the only way he would touch the field.
Mm-hmm.
And if he plays well, he only signs a 1-year deal. You could be a starter next season. That would be the perfect scenario. We'll see what happens, because Colin Kaepernick hasn't even come out and said he wants to play yet. Let's be completely honest. He has not. This is just speculation and conversation that people have because there's no sports. We need to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
But he has not even come out and said, "Yeah, bring me in." Roger Goodell, hey, somebody sign him. Pete Carroll said teams are calling him to get information about Colin Kaepernick because that was the last team he met with. Colin Kaepernick's just sitting there going, "Yeah, I don't know." He's just say something. This is your moment. People are talking about you. People are talking about your cause. Right. And finally, people understand what you are doing, and you're silent. Question. It's weird. It's very weird.
It's very, very weird.
As we jump into the comments here, Derek Carr to the Patriots. That's what Michael says, and then Jameson said the Patriots should sign Colin Kaepernick. That would be interesting, to say the least, because they don't have a solidified starter. There'd be a lot of controversy over there, and I don't know if Belichick wants controversy in his first season without Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think Belichick's going to take the we drafted Jarrett Stidham for a reason path, and when it all blows up or works, or maybe we'll see the end of Bill Belichick
Super Bowl.
or that. We can hope not, but there's always the chance.
Imagine living in a world where the Patriots win this year's Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham.
That's just garbage. I don't want to hear that. I never want to hear that.
Sorry, again. Stay positive. Sorry. Gosh.
Oh
gosh. I got pop-ups on my laptop. I'm trying to close down all these messages.
Oh no! All right.
So I heard this very interesting point. One really kind of quick point here.
Mm-hmm.
With racism going on and everyone's fighting against it, everyone's up in arms with the Black Lives Matter movement, everything going on right now. Everyone's talking about racism and fighting against it. This would be a very interesting time to bring up the Redskins again.
Yeah.
This was a conversation, 2 or 3 years ago? It really got heated.
Yep. Yeah, I think a couple of years ago it was. It surfaces like every few years. It'll surface up to like the national media level again. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like every year, everyday thing for a lot of the locals that are very strongly against the name of the team. But it's kind of like we're in that cyclic pattern again, where it's going to come up again. And I think it's a if they want to get it changed, I think right now is the time to really push for it.
Yeah, this could easily be the last season of the Redskins if people wanted it to be. Because I know right now it's really all about Black Lives Matter. That's the movement. That's obviously everyone knows what's happened recently. That's what everyone's talking about. But if we really want to talk about, hey, racism is well and alive in America, bring this point back up. Somebody start that conversation. Whoever wants to lead the charge with that. I don't know who. The Native American community can get together and start that chant again.
Right.
That was a bad choice of words. Sorry. That was very nuts. Yeah, that was on accident. That wasn't good. I'm sorry. That was a poor choice of words in the moment.
We apologize.
Yeah. But yeah, this would be the time to try and get the name changed. Do you have any names that you would like to see for them? A new name? Is there something that sticks out to you? Like the Washington Eagles? Oh no, the Eagles are taken. Dummy.
No, you can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be. Yeah, I don't know. I know they had like a. What was their fan group name for the longest time? That they used to wear like the pig snouts and everything.
Oh, geez.
I can't remember what the name of it was. Like similar, like the Dog Pound or like Bill's Mafia.
Was it just the Hogs? The Hogs?
Oh, I think it was the Hogs. Yeah, that wouldn't work for a team name though. That'd be kind of weird.
No. Yeah. Yeah, they could definitely work on that. I was just checking the comments real quick to see if anyone else had any ideas on that. The Patriots will be the worst team in the NFL, says Jameson this season. Dan Snyder did say he'll never change the team name for the Washington Redskins. Yeah, Dan Snyder's an idiot. Everyone knows that. If you want to talk about like the worst commissioners in sports world, you can also talk about the worst GMs, owners, and he would definitely be top of the list. The Cowboys bother Michael based off the name. Cowboys is the derogative term for Westerners, I guess. Let's change the Cowboys. Let's go for that. And I saw at the end there, multiple teams need to make changes. You have the Blackhawks with their symbol.
Yep.
I believe there's a couple other hockey teams that have a couple names that are questionable. The Cleveland Indians, big issue with the Cleveland Indians for a long time now. All of those names.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we're going to change one, we might as well start changing the rest of them. And I think let's make it a positive change. Like not say, oh, we can't have this anymore. No, we don't want this anymore. Let's do something different to make it better.
Right. Yeah, I feel like if one changed, it would just be a snowball at that point. I would have a hard time believing the Redskins would change their name. And then the Indians would just sit there like, yeah, we're fine. That definitely, there would be a lot of pressure on them to change it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
The Washington Generals, says Jameson.
Yeah.
Michael, the Washington Sentinels. I'm for both of those. Let's do it.
All right.
Start the petition.
There we go.
One last piece of NFL news that dropped just a little bit before the show, kind of, I guess, midday today. Tom Brady, I was waiting for this day because I couldn't, everyone does the Photoshop of like Tom Brady in a Bucs jersey. He physically put on a Buccaneers jersey today. and it was fire. Dude, those jerseys look so good. I love
Yeah, they really do.
every single one of them. When we did our uniform rankings a couple weeks ago, I don't remember what my number one was, but it was the Chargers. I still have to see the Chargers, and
Yep.
I want to see that. But Buccaneers at a definite number 2. Now that I've seen it on Tom Brady, super cool uniforms. They look really good.
Yeah, no, I thought it looks really good. I think it's kind of good to see that in person, kind of not photoshopped, like you said, and actually Brady's actually wearing the uniform. I think seeing that pewter like brown silver color,
Yeah,
that's going to be a good uniform, I think, this year for them.
yeah, that was my favorite. It's just so much more different too, because the other one's still like red, the other one's white, I believe.
Yep.
That one's just a really cool color. So whoever designed that, they should get a raise. And then Michael's just coming in with weird stuff. He says Tom Brady will quit the NFL and try his hand at baseball. Well, baseball is not even going to be happening, so I don't know what baseball league he's.
It won't be there for him to try.
No, he might go play baseball with his kids in the backyard. That's the only baseball he's playing.
There you go.
That's all of our news.
Yeah.
And we only have we have a quick segment to end the show. It's, I don't know, not really quick. It's a fair discussion that we can it's going to be very interactive with whoever's in the comments section, which is basically Jameson and Mike. But if anyone else wants to jump into the conversation, please do, because we're going to do a little bit of who gets signed first, or who gets signed long term, I guess I should say.
Well, these guys haven't signed their tag yet, though, right? So, like, technically, we still got to sign their tag. We could just go who's out of this group here is going to sign their tag first. I think that's a pretty good fair shake at it. I mean, obviously, a lot of these players want long-term deals, but they got to sign the tag first in order to get the chance at a long-term deal.
So let's create a couple different categories. Let me grab this thing here as we start taking too much time on this and we won't finish it like usual. Let's create 3 categories. What do you say? Category 1 will be traded. This player won't be on the team that tagged them.
Okay.
Come the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
The other one will be signed tag. Who's going to sign their tag? And the other one is who gets the long-term deal.
Okay.
All right. I like that. Let's do that.
So we have
This
6
is
players.
off the cuff. Yeah, we got. Is it only 6?
Well, it's only 6 on the list we made. I thought we were missing more, but a couple of them have already signed their tags. So technically, they're not still having to sign. But. Yeah.
And the only reason we're doing this is because yesterday, the 15th, was the 1-month mark when they have to either, they have to do something. July 15th is long-term deal deadline, and they basically at that point it's either trade or get tagged. It's one or the other. And we already got a bunch of people in the comments here, I think.
Yeah, we got
good.
Coming in with Cameron Brate to New England for Julian Edelman. That'd be a shocker there. And then
that would be something that would never happen, but it'd be fun.
That would be fun. He's also saying Fournette and Ngakwe is what he's heard who will be moved soon.
Hopefully soon, because they've been talking about it what feels like forever.
Yeah, those two were rumored for the draft.
Yeah, because Leonard Fournette came out and said Gardner Minshew's straight garbage, basically. He didn't say that, but he virtually said Gardner Minshew is a bad quarterback, which that's a damned lie. He is the jockstrap king, you son of a gun, and I will not hear otherwise. He was the PFF top-ranked rookie quarterback last year, so I will not hear it. Leonard Fournette, enemy of the show. You just put yourself on the trash list.
There we go.
So first
on the
list is obviously the biggest name of all of them. is Dak Prescott.
Yep.
He wants to secure the bag. The Cowboys, I feel like, have given him a couple of fair deals, but he doesn't want them. So
Yep.
what's it going to be? Traded, signed on the tag, or signed long term?
I don't think they get the long-term deal done. I think he's going to sign the tag.
Agree.
I don't think they're going to.
I've been saying this forever.
Yeah.
I've been saying this since the beginning. He signs that tag.
Yep.
He has a bad year, a down year, and he's no longer a Cowboy come next season.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it.
All right.
But I've heard some people say that he'll get signed on the last day, because I think that's what happened with either Des Bryant or somebody else. They signed him on the last day, on July 15th. They signed him long term. So some people are saying that could happen, but I think we're in agreement that it's going to be sign the tag.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a tag on that one.
The Cowboys should trade Dak to Jacksonville for Ngoku. Interesting. As we try to get through the rest of the list,
yeah.
Keep the comments coming. We'll come back to them. We'll hit at least one or two. But the next one is AJ Green. AJ Green, he's going to try and help the young Joe Burrow. What's going to happen there? Traded, sign his tag, or long term?
I think he's traded. I think
he's traded.
I think it's been the talk for a couple of years now that he's going to get traded, and they haven't done it yet. They got some younger talent coming in. Do you really? I mean, yes, you want the veteran receiver there to help the young quarterback, but the young quarterback's also going to create the relationship with the young receivers. So I think he gets traded.
Interesting. I think he'll sign his tag because I think they're going to convince him to stay a year and help out Joe. So I'm going to write down AJ in the traded for you, and I'm going to say he signs his tag.
All right.
Next is Yannick Ngakoue. I don't know.
Ngakoue, yeah.
But Yannick, I think Yannick's being traded. I mean, that's not really a question, is it?
No, it's traded.
Yeah.
The Jaguars
they've been just trying to find the right deal. That's all.
Yeah.
He won't be there next season. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot convince me he'll be a Jacksonville Jaguar after the bridges he's been burning over there like crazy. Lighter fluid and torches, baby. Just burning it all down.
Oh.
The other one is Chris Jones, which I think Chris signed his tag, I thought. But he still wants a long-term deal, I thought.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think he gets the long-term deal.
Do you?
I think he gets the long-term deal with an asterisk next to it that he worked out with the Chiefs because they're going to be like, Chris, we want to pay you. We want you to be on the team. But you see the other guy on the other side of the field there throwing that ball 80 yards down the field? Yeah, we got to pay him because if we don't, then he's going to run all over us for another team. So you want to take a discount for us right now?
And I think he'll sign the tag. I think he would rather want the tag at that point because it probably will pay more than the Chiefs are going to pay him, like if they sign him long term.
Yeah.
I think Chris will take the tag money and then the Chiefs will kick him to the curb because they need to pay Mahomes and he'll go play somewhere else. So do you want? I'll write you down for long term if you want.
Yeah, you can write me down for long term on that one.
All right. Next is Justin Simmons, safety for the Broncos. For those who don't know, star safety, played very good on his rookie contract, and now he wants his money. And the Broncos, if you don't pay attention to the storyline, the Broncos really wanted to get that long-term deal done. Like I would have said, yes, long-term deal, they figure it out. But they hit a wall and the conversations, the talks stopped. And I don't know, maybe if that changes once they get back on the field before July 15th, if they can. What do you think?
I think he just signs a tag and then I think he's gone.
I'd like to think they can figure out a deal after this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was really pushing for him getting signed long term, but after the negative talks, and it just didn't seem to work out.
Right.
It was unfortunate. So yeah, I think he signs a tag, and we'll see what happens after that.
Mm-hmm.
But last but not least, Shaquille Barrett, defensive end,
Yeah.
outside linebacker, I think.
Yeah,
I forgot what they
he's a
designate.
hybrid player.
Yeah, but yeah, he's the star-studded guy who came out of nowhere and led the league in sacks. I thought he was going to break the sack record on the pace he was going, but he kind of stalled out middle of the year. But
yeah,
he signs long term, right? At some point,
I think
he has to.
He has
it's
to.
silly not to.
Right.
That's just me. I feel like that would be a complete disaster if they don't sign him long term.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can pick up on a couple of comments here before we have to sign off. Financially, it would work there. Salary is similar. I think that might have been for Chris Jones or maybe Dak. I don't remember. Cowboys should trade Jack. We got that one. Someone should be traded to the Jets.
That was
Chiefs should trade him. Yeah, so Chris Jones.
Yeah.
And the last two re-signs. He says Simmons and Shaq Barrett will re-sign. And I would like to see both get re-signed for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that's our show.
I think that is our
Is that correct?
I think we survived.
And now we have to go face the wrath of our CEO of RTS Sports Network because something happened.
Yes, something did happen. So
pray for us, everybody. Pray for us. But thank you for tuning in to our very action-packed episode there. It was a very good episode, I feel like. It was a lot of conversation points. Comments were popping. So make sure you still share everything. Make sure you follow On and Off the Field, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also follow RTS Sports Network everywhere. In case I didn't even announce it, I'm apparently now the social media director for RTS Sports Network. So it's popping a lot more. I'm really working hard on trying to get that brand growing. So make sure you are following everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook for RTS Sports Network, and sharing and liking everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I said that, someone started following us on Twitter. So it must have worked.
Nice.
But other than, we have to disagree with Leonard Fournette. So shove it in his face, Fred.
All hail the Jockstrap King.